Hi guys, welcome back to Chariot Palmistry. My name is Sulabh Jain, and in this video we are looking at the energy around the world in the month of June. You see, the last couple months have been very crazy. March, April, May on this channel we've been saying there'll be a lot of zombie-like effects with lots of people walking around just very burnt out, very lethargic and tired from all the chaos happening in their personal lives. And boy, did that play out. We're just at the end of this difficult period now, so the good news is that the next couple months should be very buoyant, very optimistic for everyone. The world won't get crazy again, I don't believe, until about the month of April, and there's a real doozy for us all at that point, which we'll come back and talk about at a later stage. But for now, we need to make the best of the next few positive, optimistic months. Now, one announcement I do want to make on this channel is that we're releasing a new book right now. It's called Jainism for Kids, and I actually wrote it with my own sons. They're teenagers at the moment, and we live outside of India, so we don't have many Jain monks in Australia where I live. So we actually wrote this book to teach Jainism for other kids outside of India too. So just thought I'd mention that real quick. Now, in this video, we're going to gloss over most of the chaos that's happening around the world for the last few months and just focus in on gold specifically. And then we'll get into making predictions for the month of June as well. Now, when we talk about gold, I want to make one very simple observation. That is the fact that the price of gold didn't spike during the India-Pakistan conflict that happened recently. Normally people say that gold is a safe haven, that the price of gold only goes up when there's panic buying, where there's a war on the horizon or a drought or famine, some sort of disaster causes people to purchase gold. With India versus Pakistan, we had two nuclear powers that were literally on the brink of going full-scale war with each other. And yet the price of gold didn't go up. In fact, if anything, the price of gold went down. And that is actually more alarming than the fact that if price of gold went up, because if gold goes up, that means everyone is rashly expecting chaos. But for gold to go down during this period means that it's not people who are buying gold, there's institutions buying it, like central banks or what have you. And if central banks are buying gold, that means they're expecting some sort of crisis on the horizon. On this channel, we've been predicting for a while that there'll be a big financial crash in the second half of 2026. In fact, in next month, I'll put out a video just on my half-yearly reviews of where the energy of the world is sitting. Rather than monthly breakdowns, we do these reviews once every 6 months on the big picture of the world. And in that video, I'll give you guys the exact month and a 2 to 3 week period where I believe the crash is actually going to take place. So stay tuned for that video. But for right now, what I want to point out is central banks, because they're buying gold, they're predicting something is about to go wrong. And if they're predicting something's going wrong, we should all be very wary right now. So that's one thing. The second thing is, if I pull up the Roadvi tool, we can actually see how the price of gold has been behaving over this time. Okay, so this is our Roadvi tool, and as you can see up here, this is our predictions for the gold metal. And the yellow line or the orange line is the energy reading, and the green line is where the price goes. So basically where we read the energy going up, we're predicting the price moves up. And where the energy sort of flat lines here is where we predict a bottom, and then where it goes down again like this is where we predict the price going down. So if I just reset the price scale here, you can see our Roadvi tool actually predicted the bottom for gold being in at around about the 7th of April. And the actual bottom, by the way, was the 8th of April. So we were very happy with that prediction. We predicted a spike in the price of gold, which pretty much happened. Then after about the 22nd of April, we thought the energy was going to go down. And that certainly did end up happening. Despite the India-Pakistan war, Roadvi was adamant that the price of gold would go down. Now, again, a rational person would think a new war in the world, in addition to Russia-Ukraine, in addition to Israel-Palestine, should create a spike in the price of gold. But Roadvi was actually correct. The price of gold did end up going down. Now, as you can see by this screenshot here, we believe the price of gold will continue to go down till around about the first few days of June. And then we're expecting a rebound in the price of gold. So I'll just throw that prediction out there and we'll add it to our list of predictions, which I'll give you at the very end of this video. Oh, and actually another cool thing I want to show you guys is Ethereum, because this tool made a really good prediction on that. Okay, so this is the energy meter summary for Ethereum, and as you can see, our tool was predicting some kind of top for Ethereum at the 2nd or 3rd of December. If I reset the price scale here, you can see the actual top for Ethereum is around about the 7th to 8th of December. So pretty close over there. We're then predicting Ethereum would keep heading down, or the energy of Ethereum would go down to about the 16th of April. And as you can see, the price pretty much headed down that whole time. Now, if once again I reset the price, the exact bottom was the 8th of April. We said it'd be about 16th, so we're pretty happy there. But then after that point, we predicted Ethereum going up. And boy, did it do that. Over May, there was this huge spike in Ethereum, nearly a 50% jump. Then after that point, we thought it'd be sideways to down, which pretty much ended up happening. So Roadvi was very good for these two over that period. But that's the Roadvi tool. It's also predicting a lot of chaos in the world in around about the month of August too. So in addition to my predictions on gold and silver, Roadvi's saying there's some chaos down the road. So I just want to give you guys a heads up on that one. The reason this is important, in addition to our analysis on gold, is a couple months ago, maybe a year ago, I put out a series called The Most Important Video Series I'm Ever Going to Make, which I talked about the long-term predictions in the world over like the next few decades and next few centuries. And here's a slideshow that I put up from that video. And what I was basically talking about at that point in time was the fact that we're in a risk of heading into a hyperinflationary depression. And that's where I think the world's headed right now. Hyperinflationary depression, by the way, is an instance where there's so much money printing, the price of everything starts to go up. At that same point in time, the value of everything starts to go down. It's a situation that messes with a lot of people's heads and their finances. Because if, let's say, a loaf of bread goes from $1 to costing $10 over a 3 or 4 year period, you'd think that your wages would go up over that time frame too, like tenfold, to be able to afford that bread. That doesn't end up happening. Your wages go down, if anything. So the ability to buy basic necessities, like bread, become a whole lot harder. So if you haven't watched that video, the most important video series I'm ever going to make, I strongly encourage you to watch that. It's on the playlist on my channel. It'll help you not only predict what's happening in the world around you, but also to prepare for this. So I'm just going to say that now we're in for a high inflation depression, or hyperinflationary depression, and that's my prediction. So in addition to that, let's talk about the predictions over the month of June. But before we do that, let's review my predictions over the month of May. And I only had 2 predictions last month. One of them was a Bitcoin price fall. That did not end up happening. And the other prediction was that the Tesla price would start to go up. And that did actually end up happening. In fact, just the other day, Elon decided he's not going to work in government anymore. He's going to go back to being a full-time CEO of Tesla. So I got 1 out of 2 predictions correct in that month. And for those of you keeping score, that's 7 out of 9 correct predictions so far this year. That brings me to the month of June. These are my predictions. The first one is I'm predicting a Bitcoin price fall to take place. I know I was expecting this to happen last month, but I'm still thinking it's going to happen this month. And tentatively, I want to say it's about the 2nd week, but don't hold me to the timing. I think this general month is not looking good. I'm also predicting a gold price fall to take place in the first or second week of this month. I'm attributing that prediction to Roadvi. I'm also predicting a gold price rise to take place from the second week onwards, and also Roadvi ought to get the credit for that prediction. Overall, there should also be a stock market rise taking place over the month of June. That, guys, is where I'm going to end this month's video. Remember, we've just walked out of a couple difficult months. We have a couple good months ahead of us. Keep your focus on that, on building and consolidating your lives. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks a lot.